Welcome to Mushroom Wonderland. All right, I got the list of our Foray group, so we're going to meet in this building, talk about social media a bit, and then head out into the woods.
To some degree, everything is content, right? If you're sitting down to make dinner, you can set up a time lapse of making dinner. You can set up a thing, you're giving a lecture, you film the lecture. You can pull all these little things out and turn them into content. You don't have to, but the more that you film, the more of a backlog of stuff that you can go to and pull from, right? So, and that, I think there's value in that, and part of it is just getting used to documenting and not feeling weird about pulling out a camera and taking a photo. Because it does feel weird in situations where you're like, I feel like an asshole because I'm trying to like document this, or people look at you weird. But you're like, it's my job, it's what I do now. So
and I try to make sure to ask if it's okay with the group, like, you guys mind if I'm filming? Once in a while somebody's like, I'd rather not, and that's cool. Then we're both aware and they can kind of stay out of my camera, and I will make a point not to hit them. And just to touch on the posting, I think for TikTok and Instagram, posting every day is a good idea, but for the kind of videos I make, I think every 3 days is kind of the sweet spot, or twice a week, or maybe once a week. But if I overload people's news feed with just video after video, they get bogged down. You start getting those notifications, might get annoying, right? So I kind of want to keep that carrot in front of the donkey, like, a new episode of Mushroom Wonderland came out, so I'll intentionally restrain myself from uploading too often. As much as like this season, I have so much footage like just sitting on the editing room table ready to cut and put out, but I'm like, I don't want to swamp y'all until you're like, God, shut up, Mushroom Wonderland, and then I'm following
and you gotta also like let a video run its course to some degree, right?
Totally, yeah.
Everything's like a kind of a curve. Like most of the views are gonna get early, and then it'll sort of trail off later. And Aaron and I were talking about this yesterday. There's gonna be some videos you post that you're not expecting a big initial viewing, but later on, you know that they'll continue to perform decently well.
Totally.
But most things you post are gonna get 98% of views like in the first 24 to 72 hours kind of thing.
Totally.
Especially like Instagram. Like YouTube has a longer sort of residence time for content like that. Partially because it's like how often people like log on and scroll through. Instagram is usually log on a couple times a day and scroll through, and then you run out of new stuff to look at. Whereas YouTube, I don't go on YouTube ever, but some people probably open it up once or twice a week, and that's when like, oh great, a new episode, and they sit down and watch it. But it's the type of platform you're posting to that determines how much people are like consuming from that. And for doing any kind of content, my advice is always like niche down in specific, like choose a specific topic and like type of content that you really want to focus on. I had an Instagram for years where I posted pictures of cats and food and flowers and all sorts of other stuff. No one gave a shit. And then I started a mushroom specific platform and I got accidentally famous. If you post a whole, I thought about this the other day because I'm like, I've encouraged so many people like take your special interest and start an Instagram with that, and people are like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm like, all right, that's fine. You don't have to. But I was out the other day taking pictures and stuff, and I was like, I kind of want to start an Instagram called like Cozy Places to Sit or something like that. How many times have you been like, that looks like a nice place to sit? Take a photo. I'm like, I bet you if I started an Instagram of nothing but like cute places to sit, something would go viral and go like cottagecore, and I'd have like 20,000 followers in like a couple of months, And as much as possible, I try to kind of like collect everyone and be like, all right, we're all in the umbrella of mushroom talk, myco talk. But a lot of people over time have kind of, they figured out what works for them, and they've niched down on doing more of that. And so part of what you do is you get out, you post a couple exploratory things, see what performs better, and then do more of that. Because again, when people see and like something, they want more of that from you. So the more specific you can get with everything that you do, almost sort of the better it is. And then later, it's almost like you start wide, then you get very specific, and once you've like really established some kind of core audience, then you can branch back out again in this sort of hourglass thing where you're able to then use your platform to push other things that you're doing and want to do. But if you start out being like, well, I cook, and I make jewelry, and I do this, and I do that, and you're not going to get enough followers to like get to the point that you have a core following.
And then a follow-up question.
Yep.
How do you make sure, you talked a little bit about this at the beginning, the passion versus money.
Yep.
How do you make sure you don't fall into that trap of just like doing it for the likes or whatever, or following trends and that gets you, okay.
Focus on making quality content that makes you happy.
Good.
Make what you want to make, don't chase views.
Right.
That being said, if you know what does well from your content, balance the stuff that makes you happy with feeding the algorithm and occasionally pandering to your audience. If you know people really like it when you do this thing, you don't do it every day, but maybe once a month you're like, okay, fine, I'll post a daily video. You know?
And then you have to try enough different things,
Yeah.
and then you can look at your analytics. And
Well, and there was a point when I made videos just purely for my passion about mushrooms and video making, but I realized maybe I can stop my day job and just devote my life to mushrooms. Maybe I cracked the code on mycology. Like you know, academic mycologists don't make that great of money, but some YouTubers do. So I'm like, maybe I could do that. So in some ways, I'm trying to grab audience, even if I want to talk about things that are deeper. You know what I mean?
That's where Aaron has been really good at this. Show your face and personality, because people are going to connect with people.
And also be involved in the things that you're passionate about. And I will say that the best advice I got about creating a YouTube channel in the beginning that I constantly remind myself of is that this is a marathon, it is not a sprint. So building a channel, building a brand, building all of this doesn't happen overnight, and I can't be discouraged if it doesn't. And here I'm going on year 5 of Mushroom Wonderland, just past 80,000 subscribers. My sons watch video gamers that get 21 million views per video. And they're like, how many views does the video have? Yeah, and it's like 6,000, and I'm excited about it, right? And oh, Mr. Beast gets that in his first 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm never gonna do Mr. Beast. That's not what I do. And I have to be true about it. Sometimes I'm like, I should start a stupid video game channel, be a millionaire. But
so that being said, you had this incredibly solid following of people who like what you do, and that's the important. It's not necessarily the numbers; it's what you do, and the people that. And again, that was that growth versus community thing, right? It's like sometimes it's better to have fewer followers, but have really hardcore people. But I have a ton of followers, but I rarely, if I'm like, hey, people come to this event, 5 people show up. And I'm like, I have 3 million followers. I get 5 people in real life to show up. Aaron does something, he's like full room, you know. So it's how dedicated people are to what you do.
that is true, and on YouTube, the thing is minutes matter most when you're talking about getting monetary. How long can you keep your audience watching? It's how you get paid. So the 1 minute things, they just don't pay out that good, and people come and go. But if I have an audience who sticks around all 30 minutes through the whole thing, that's ideal, right? So that's my community, the people that want to sit down and watch the whole way through the episode. And I was like, this is boring.
And you cultivate it. It took 5 years, but you got it.
Right, and it's been a slow grow sometimes, but I'm like, you know what? Just stay the course. I believe in it, and I know that there's millions of mushroom lovers out there. I haven't touched them all yet, so we're still grinding hard.
So, Aaron, I was one of those that followed you and your dog for 30 minutes. I walked with you, it was great. Saw you eating lobster. Yeah, so I loved it. I stayed the whole 30 minutes with you and your dog.
Yeah, great.
Any questions back?
No, I was ready to follow you.
That
But the
looks
old one's slowed
gorgeous.
down,
You are
so-
so beautiful. Look at you, girl. Yes, work it. Okay. Try to catch for some of that background, a little context, and now, since this is going so well, I'm gonna try the macro lens. This might go things up, but we'll find out.
Only one way to find
Now.
out, guys.
Oh, now we're in it. Now, no, you're perfect. You stay where you are. That and get that. Yes.
Make love to the camera.
Oh my God, I can see the veins and a little bit of green in there. So good. Okay.
Now do a video.
Now look at this motherfucking photo.
Oh, damn.
That looks cool, right? You got little veins, you got all sorts of stuff. You got a little bit of green. So thank you. But I needed help. I needed an assist on this. So you guys are all participating in this. And you know what? Actually, hang on. I'm gonna have you. Can you come back and just kind of hang this over the?
Now chop it up or do something fantastic, Fungi.
I'm working on it. All right.
Poses I haven't done it.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
Smack it, chop it, do something. Come on.
Hey, guys.
Twist it.
Don't rush him. Don't rush him.
Pull it. Bop it. Twist it.
Quiet on set, please. Okay. And there we go.
Right? So you can
I don't know.
No.
like the next picture with photo people shots. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Go for it.
Do it.
All right.
Everyone's got to hold still.
But yeah, just quiet on set. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Shoo. All right. See, but did I need to go shoot the end of the video? Fuck no, I didn't. But I'll edit that out later. Look at this.
Nice lobster.
That is beautiful.
Score.
Like a spade.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, it's good and firm. Hey, that was a nice tappy. Yes.
So I came here out on my social media walk here with Gordon Walker, fascinated by fungi. Nice to finally meet you and be out here in the woods. Do you say fungi or fungi?
I go both ways.
Yeah,
I
me
say
too.
whatever feels right in the moment, but usually fungi because I'm a fun guy. So.
Yeah, I like to just switch it up. Just to confuse and irritate people.
Oh, yeah.
And then Julie Beeler, the
Julie Beeler.
author of the Mushroom Color Atlas. Oh my gosh, such a cool book.
Those are
Finding fungi for color.
Yeah, honored to be out here with
and
them. We
then
got
more
Myco
social
Geeky from the Myco Geeky podcast. Gotta give the shout out to him.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm out in the woods with, guess who? Myco Geeky. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm having a blast out here in the Pacific Northwest. You guys got a couple mushrooms, big trees. It's a good time.
Are you cold here? No, you're from
Nah,
Ohio.
I'm
You guys.
good. Yeah, this is okay. It is warmer in Ohio right now, though. So,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little colder than I want to be. It's okay.
How long are you here?
All in the name of mushrooms. Till Sunday afternoon.
Cool.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
right on.
Hanging out with this guy, showing me around.
Yeah.
Good time.
Myco Geeky visits Mushroom Wonderland. So
Yeah.
make sure to check out his channel.
Thanks, man.
From Ohio, up here in the Gifford Pinchot. So, in an undisclosed location, there's all this crap in the background. She's gonna be in a Mushroom Wonderland video, chilling up on the.
Oh, she would love that.
Yeah. What was your name?
Kaisa.
Kaisa. Wow, that's a cool name.
Maybe you should do the same thing. All right, hang on. Let me get a couple. You ever heard of the Turkish storm?
Yeah.
So they sailed out of Gloucester, which is on Cape Ann, this little island. So my parents live in Rockport, Massachusetts, right beside Gloucester. So like that's pretty much where I go back to East Coast.
This is the habitat where we held our Friday foray. It's a little bit lacking in good diversity, but we saw a lot of mushrooms and had a good time. It's still fun.
Lots of good stuff. I mean, there's lots of good. This is
You haven't gone to the East Coast.
yeah.
Hey, this is our group from the NAMA Foray. We're group number 18. We found some cool stuff today, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was some edibles, some lobster mushrooms, chanterelles, winter chanterelles or yellowfoot. No matsutake, unfortunately, but we got to know each other, had a good time. NAMA 2024, right? Yeah. Right on.
Posing this, but as someone who's out with him or another content creator, I can like Aaron, give me a quick little look. So I can but he can make his video and I can do like a third person filming of him, and then later I can like send him that footage so he could cut back and forth between like the two viewpoints kind of thing, and that's just like a fun thing you can do when you're out hunting with a friend or or another content creator, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do a little off the top of the head,
Yeah,
like this. And hey guys, check out this mushroom. This one is one of the more toxic local mushrooms known as Hypholoma fasciculare, or the sulfur tuft. But one of the coolest things is when you hit it with UV light, this mushroom glows like crazy. So you can come out in the woods at night with your UV light, and it's pretty creepy. Even though Halloween's over, the mushrooms are still growing. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Woo! Hey guys, check out this mushroom. This one is one of the more toxic local mushrooms known as Hypholoma fasciculare, or the sulfur tuft. But one of the coolest things is when you hit it with UV light, this mushroom glows like crazy. So you can come out in the woods at night with your UV light, and it's pretty creepy. Even though Halloween's over, the mushrooms are still growing. Thanks for watching.